Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I'm Magic Mel and this is Owl, my spirit guide. Welcome to episode 18 of season 7. And this is the episode where I'll actually draw some cards for you. For everyone who's new on my channel, I pull cards usually, but it's more than that. So I'm not, I guess, the usual tarot reader here. I like to share my experiences and my own stories on my own spiritual journey because I know that the deeply personal is universal and there's so many of us going through and experiencing a similar transition. So I hope that my insights might resonate with you, might inspire you, and that's what we're here for. And I'm using the tarot cards and the oracle cards to illustrate my stories and also see what energies we're dealing with in the present moment. So since this is the second video of the day, again, if you want to enter the lucky draw for a free one-on-one tarot reading, energy reading with moi, then comment the word magic in the comments box below. You might as well do it if if you've already commented in the last video, do it again for this video. The more the better, okay? And tomorrow in tomorrow's reading, I'm going to draw the lucky winner. Again, Katie, you won a free reading from today's draw, so please get in touch with me and we shall coordinate. Okay, so I wanted to use my Psychic Tarot Oracle deck to see what the main energy for you is this coming week. So the week of the 11th, well, starting tomorrow's Sunday now. Starting Sunday, 11th of June. I don't think I've ever used this deck for you guys. I pull like a card for myself, daily card from this deck. So, vamos allá. Connecting with my Asga team, with Triple G and your Asga team. What is the main energy for you beautiful viewers? What is your main energy in this upcoming week? Thank you so much. Dear Asga team, spirit team. Got the fan going here too. It's really hot. Gosh, I was thinking of installing air cons, but it's kind of fussy business. So I think this year I'm gonna marshmallow it out. Marshmallow because my brain becomes marshmallow in the heat. Okay. Your main energy for this upcoming week is sacrifice. So this tarot deck is a little bit different. Sacrifice in the main Rider-Waite tarot would be the equivalent to the Hangman. But let's work with the symbology here. Sacrifice. You see this, she looks like a Tahitian lady who's emerging from the mud and really rising above, no? It's kind of perplexing or amazing that her white dress is not even stained by the mud. So she's just really emerging out of there, coming out of it. And as she raises herself into the sky, there's a rainbow coming out of her. And the clouds look interesting. Are they clouds or are they? No, they're actually lilies. I was going to say strange looking clouds, but they're lilies. So for me, this looks similar to the image of the lotus coming out of the mud. And you might be familiar with that, no? The Buddhist symbol of the lotus coming out of the mud, where we know that the mud is important. The lower vibrations are important. The pain and the suffering is important on our journey because it is through the pain, through the mud that we alchemize and transmute those experiences and those lower vibrations into something higher. And we do that actually, you know, when we carry trauma within us, when we carry unprocessed emotions within us, they freeze. They're like pockets of energy that are frozen in our consciousness. It's part of our consciousness that's frozen in a little energetic pocket. And that energy is energía vital, is vital energy that is missing from our totality. So when we heal, when we process those emotions, when we release them, that energy is also released. And in that way, our own vibration, our own frequency rises. See what I'm saying? So you are going through this process this week. Your sacrifice is a worthy one. Your process might be one of really accepting your situation, accepting the pain, accepting the struggle, accepting your emotions, not running away from them, but using them as so-called fuel to alchemize, to liberate yourself, to come into a higher frequency, to feel lighter. Let me know if this resonates. Let me know on your own journey. Once you've processed emotions, once you've processed, released, forgiven a situation, don't you feel lighter afterwards? I mean, it's a physical feeling of lighter, like casting off a burden. I told you that I used to carry tension, constant tension in my shoulders to the point where I had these fibroids like golf balls. I was so tense always here. And that was my body always armoring against the world. I was shielding myself. I was protecting myself. I was tensing up against the world. This has released now. It's crazy because I'm just, as I'm talking about it, I'm realizing that. And it's because my entire attitude about life has shifted. I don't see life as the enemy anymore. I'm not recoiling or armoring myself up because I'm scared. So our emotions, our psychic baggage is real. We can feel it physically, and that is the importance of it. That's also when, I used to be on antidepressants also. In my case, they were necessary because I was in so much pain that I could not even deal with my trauma without first getting myself back into a functional state. So in my case, the antidepressants really helped. But in another case, they made me more anxious, or they actually numbed my emotions. And I feel that's when it becomes dangerous, because our emotions are our bodies and our being's compass. They are our indicator to signal to us. It's a way for our soul to communicate to us whether we're out of alignment or on alignment, whether we are in our home-based frequency, which is love, joy, bliss, appreciation, or if we're deviated from that. So if we're suffering, if we're in pain, guilt, resentment, then we're off that main frequency, off our home-based frequency. And it's necessary, because how can we know if we're off base if we don't feel, if we don't have those emotions? So our denser emotions are not to be judged, but they are there to be, welcomed is a big word, but let's say accepted, embraced, not fought against, not rejected, not pushed against. We can only transmute them and work with them if we actually accept them, accept what is, accept the present moment. So your sacrifice might be one of just not running away from the situation, whatever is bothering you, whatever tension, physical tension, whatever pain or fear that is calling for your attention. It's asking you to sit with it and to transmute it through your own acceptance, through your compassion, through your loving awareness. And I know that stuff sounds cliche, but it's a real process of alchemy. And trust me, you will feel lighter afterwards. So it also has to do with, alchemy is literally working with light, because frequency and energy is light. So the rainbow is a representation of, the light spectrum, and a kind of symbol of a cleared auric field here, no? So we can only clear our aura. Oh, look, 2 rainbows. When we cast off and process these stuck emotions or denser emotions, and onto which also maybe, attachments, all kinds of entities can latch onto when we're not strong in our own light, in our own light body. So part of this whole process of ascension is really working with our emotions and processing them, releasing the pain, releasing the grief, the resentment, the anger, and looking at them as beautiful messengers who have information to tell you, a story to tell you, And yeah, without the mud, there is no transmutation. So be the hangman, call a timeout, come back to the present moment. Just a bit like what I shared in the last video, how I sat with myself yesterday and I reflected on my experience of having, you know, of just realizing what lowers my vibration, what affects me nowadays more than I actually had realized, and accepting that and working with it, not beating myself up, but accepting the situation and then loving myself back home. Meaning, how can I nurture myself? What do I need? What does my body need? How can I raise my vibration, i.e., what will bring me energy? So what I did is I went to the sea, I drank lots of water, I drank my juices again, I rested. All of that recharges me. Yeah. So everything is part of this process, and everything can be useful if we look at it as a way of knowing what makes us stray off home base being our own energy, our own well-being, and what helps us to come back home. That's also very important. What techniques or what self-soothing practices do you have to soothe yourself, to nurture yourself, to bring yourself back into your own energy? That's the main energy of next week. Let me know if this resonates. I just had a technical glitch. Paste it together again. My next question for you is, what is your biggest challenge for this upcoming week of June 11th? I guess the main energy can be seen as a challenge, but it's a more specific question. Is there a specific challenge that you are facing in this upcoming week? Thank you so much, dear Aska team. Okay, they said stop. Specific challenge for you this week. Spiritual strength. Again, this goes hand in hand. You know, all of these practices, you know, spirituality is not something separate from our lives. Everything is spiritual because we are spiritual beings, and life is sacred. It's a spiritual endeavor. It's a spiritual journey. So this process of alchemizing, of nurturing ourselves, of deviating, lowering our vibration and alchemizing, transmuting back up is a spiritual process. And it is a test or a challenge to see, to build your spiritual strength. And just like anything, just like an athlete or a weightlifter here, looks like the Buddha is kind of weightlifting this bar. It takes devotion and practice, consistency, just like anything, no? So our spiritual dedication needs our attention. It is a relationship, it is a practice. And again, those practices, we can integrate them, or the more we integrate them into our normal life, the better. Everything can be a spiritual practice. I mean, what Zen Buddhism, the way we make our tea, being really present in the moment, appreciating, that's a spiritual practice. Gratitude is a spiritual practice. Even fucking up, excuse my French, is a spiritual practice. Because again, how do we know how to come back home if we haven't strayed? So for me, Magic Male is I want to be super open-minded about this whole spiritual business. Everything is spiritual. And it's a personal one. Because what might work for you and your personal expression of your spirituality is personal to you. It's a personal relationship also with the universe, with God, with the higher power. The way you communicate with your spirit team, with your angels, spirit guides. It's a personal relationship. And they will communicate in a way with you that's special to you, in a way that only you will understand. So how does your spiritual practice look like? What does it consist of? What are the daily rituals that enhance and nurture this relationship and build up your spiritual strength? Let me know. This is your challenge. And the opportunity for this week, for my beautiful viewers, what's your opportunity? It's all kind of asking the same question in a different perspective, no? Your main energy, your opportunity, your challenge. But let's be specific. What is your opportunity this week? Thank you so much, the Aska team, angels, spirit guides, gods and goddesses, and ancestors. Aska Triple G. Thank you so much. ¿Cuál es la oportunidad aquí? Oh, wow. Okay, 2 cards came out. I'm going to make an exception because when I jump out like that, then they want to be seen. Okay, numero uno, this is your opportunity. Suffering in silence. Okay, there's this lady at the tip of a mountain peak with her magic wand looking into the horizon. Suffering in silence. For me, it would say don't suffer in silence. And if you do, well, we can look at it from two sides. Like me today or yesterday, I just spend my time pretty much alone. And it's being there for ourselves. Again, everything depends where we're coming from. Do you engage with people to escape yourself, to distract yourself? Or is this engagement with the other people deeply nurturing for you? Are they soul deep connections? Or at least do they nurture you? It doesn't have to be soul deep. But as long as they're nurturing for you, then it's okay. But if we go out just to distract ourselves and it leaves us feeling even more empty afterwards, then is it worth it? Maybe then suffering in silence is better because then we're just coming face to face with ourselves. And I told you that I'm doing this mirror work now. I have this big mirror set up and I sit with myself. I talk to myself. Like yesterday, I sat myself down. I said, Melanie, I still love you. It's okay. I'm going to take care of you. You know, I'm not going to abandon you like I used to in the past. So this relationship with ourselves is everything, really. It really is important. So if you decide to suffer in silence, then relate to yourself because you need your own love. Yeah. And the other card came out as temptation. And this is very closely to the devil energy. So your opportunity is to, well, to discern. Again, we've gone through this, no? To discern what are my old tendencies that keep me stuck? When is the devil calling in terms of calling me back to old vices or situations that I know are toxic or that I know lower my vibration, but I still go? When am I refusing to liberate myself with my own key? Look at this personaje here. He is denying the key. You know, we have the key to our own liberation. It's not somebody out there holding the key. No, you have the key inside of you. But again, it takes sitting with yourself and going within and taking that key. First of all, realizing that you have the key and then actually taking the key and using the key. So one thing is thinking about doing something nurturing for yourself. The next step is actually doing it. It's in the action. Words alone are not enough. And as I said, I'm reflecting on that because I also tell you that our words are very important, spoken and written. But again, even in the manifestation process, it's still the action, the inspired action that counts also. That is a signal to the universe that you are aligning with your desire or with your liberation. So again, just knowing about the key to your desire and not doing anything about it is not enough. You actually got to use the key and do something about it. Okay? And that doing comes in many forms. Doing might be doing nothing and just sitting with yourself in silence, facing yourself in the mirror. Okay? Or resting. It all depends where we're coming from. Fear, love, distraction, nourishment. Yeah? So your opportunity is to, again, not run away from your devil tendencies, your shadow aspects, but to bring them into your loving light awareness with the light of your awareness and integrate them. Because again, the shadow can only be the shadow if there's no light. And I feel in this whole ascension process, it seems like we're all coming back to one, which is a trippy concept anyway. So the light, our light will spread so much that eventually everything will be absorbed up into this big light, because what Mahadev or the all universe is love and light, no? So in any case, I'm just talking from a present moment of awareness. That can change because here I'm also in process. I don't claim to hold the ultimate knowledge or ultimate truth. This is my own unfolding, and I edit myself. I revise myself in each video too, as I also acquire new knowledge and new insights. Yeah. So I always tell you, take everything with a grain of salt and use your own discernment, which means trusting your own body when it senses that something resonates with your truth, and when something dissonates with, if it doesn't sit well, then it also means something. Be your own truth barometer. Don't just believe everything and anything out there, including Magic Mel. I'm also still learning. Yeah, you know best. So that's that for a little update for this week, and I'm going to paste this video together now. Let's see if I'm still inspired to do another one, because I feel I'm catching up. I'm on a roll today. Since I didn't do my TGIF reading yesterday, I'm like, okay, Now we're going to do several. Again, if you want to be joining our beautiful DIY lucky draw for a one-on-one reading with Magic Mel, then comment in the comments box below the word magic, because we're all about magic. We're all about coming back into our sovereignty and using our magical powers and realizing that the world is magical. We just need to put on our magic spectacles and take off the spectacles of lack and scarcity and aggression and all of that fear stuff. Abundance and magic. That's the spectacles I like to see the world through. Okay, basta la pasta before I just talk for the sake of talking. See you for episode 19 coming up straight after this one, guys. Remember to comment in the comments box. And of course, like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you resonate with my messages and my vibe. And you know that I'm a coach too. So if you're interested in coaching, details are in the description box below. Ciao, bandidos. Upcoming episode 19 after this one. Ciao.